let's do a orange cat at 1.1. Okay. So we have an orange cat here. So as you can see, like this agent doesn't have the capability of like image generation and so on, but it had a sub agent that had the ability to do the image generation. So it means it can and able to create a team of agents that have a manager, which is this agent as a manager. So this is a manager agent. So for today, we are having a few things that we would like to share. First one, let's talk about Changelog, what have been done, and also what is having. And second one is going to be like a demo about the 0 to 1, session number 5. So I think today is my kind of like quite flexible. So I would like to share like what I have been experimenting over the week, and also what have been changed, so that maybe you can have a look. So the last one, let's go into Changelog. Okay. So let me go into this one. So if you click on this one, you'll be able to see what have been changed. So there's some improvement and some fixes. So first one is on the fixes. So we are fixing the issue where user could not upload image when accessing with workflow via shareable link. So this one has been fixed. So it means like when you are enable the public available on this one, then your user can able to upload any file or image. This one, it should be working as normal at the moment. So this one has been fixed. And also there's some improvement that we have been added as well. First one is we have Gemini 3.1 Pro preview now in the platform under PixelML, so that you can have a look and test it. So let's search for the Gemini 3.1 Pro and how is it going to do. Let me search about this Gemini 3.1 Pro. So this is the model that have been enabled by Google by like few days ago, 19. It's kind of like a leading model that very good at everything is due. So comparing to Sonnet 4.5 or Opus 4.6 or even like GPT 5.3 Codex, this model actually outperforming all of them. And for example, some of the benchmark that is reaching 44%, and also Arch AGI, which is super level and super hard. And I think there's a some people also mentioned about this one. This model is able to generate kinds of like a 3D print directly at one shot. So I think this is going to be quite very impressive model. So let's see what else that they have in here. Okay, so this is only one prompt. You can generate an SVG example. Okay, code-based animation, website friendly, animated GIF. Maybe we can recreate that one as well. 3D Starling mutation. Okay, let's play this one.
After seeing a video of a Starling murmuration, I was inspired to ask Gemini 3.1 Pro to code a simulation of one for me. The model created this cloud of boys that interact in similar patterns to a real flock of birds. I then asked the model to make the simulation interactive so I could move the birds with my hands. I also asked the model to create music that would change according to the movement of the murmuration.
Wow, I think that this one is quite crazy stuff, that even like the crazy front-end developer is also going to take a lot of time on this one, and this model is just one shot that, so that's just crazy. Okay, so this one is what is it? Orbit tracker. Wow, okay, that's quite impressive. Okay, so this is what Google said about themselves. So let's see what else people said about that. Okay, let's talk into this one. So this is the metric about the artificial analysis index, and in here, as you can see in here, so Gemini 3.1 Pro preview actually #1 at the moment for all of the model, and also outperforming both Codex and also Opus far away on this one. But the pricing, let's search for the pricing of this model. Let me price. There's no price here. Okay, Gemini 3.1 Pro pricing. So where is the model? So the pricing is the input price is $4 per prompt, more than 200,000 token. So output is 18. This one is actually sitting between code GPT 5.3 and also Opus. Opus was selling kinds of like I don't know. Let's see. We can compare pricing between Gemini 3.1, GPT 5.2 and 4.6. Let's have this one do for us. 5.2 output is 14. Gemini 5 Pro is 12. Okay, Opus is 25. And also the context window of this model is much higher, which is 1 million token. Google is really good at this multimodal and also long context window. So I think for Gemini 5.1 Pro, 3.1 Pro, this is really good for the model that we need to do long context running. For coding, I don't think that this is as good because when I test this with open code and so on, sometimes it's going to loop. I still like Opus 4.6 better, and also even like Codex 5.3. So I think for coding part, I haven't really tested deep enough to recommend this model in this one. Yeah, okay, so I think that's pretty much it on this one. So let's test on this one on Gemini 5 Pro preview. Let me start a new chat. I will use a prompt that they already have in here, and maybe we can do something interesting with it. Okay. Okay, so this is a prompt that they have. Let's try to recreate this one. Okay, let me crack this one. So I will take the prompt that they give, SVG of Chameleon, and so on. Let me just ask this to create this one. It starts to speaking. So I think for some thinking model and so on, it will not show up. So we have the file, but with this one, we cannot now, right? So just download this one, and not working this way. What do I do? Okay, let me ask it itself. Copy all the code. Okay, paste into editor, open a plain text editor, and then make a text edit. Okay, but after we download this one, there's nothing happen. Let me download again, and let me open it here. Okay, so we have it. That's interesting, right? So we have a chameleon that actually following the mouse I have in here. That's interesting. So this is what Gemini 3.1 Pro. But what if we can just copy this prompt and also comparing with other model? Let me go to this one. I'm going to how do you say? Let's just create a new agent. I'm going to choose how do you say? Let's choose 4.6 Opus. Just say hi. Okay. We have Opus finished this one, and let's download this one, okay, and do this one. So you can see Opus is actually making a quite weird chameleon. This is following my mouse on this one, but comparing to what Gemini does, actually this one having better visual understanding. Okay? I think that is pretty cool. So maybe let me try one more time. What we see. This time we're going to go for the model that name, what is it? Okay, Codex 5.3. So this is to be equivalent. So I will new chat, save, and also typing this one. Okay, so we have this one from Codex. Let's download this one and also open it. Oops, there's nothing happen. It should be XML. Okay, so we have this, huh? So Codex is actually creating this quite weird chameleon. Even not having an XML, so I cannot open it. I need to manually change the file names. So you can see from left to right. The first one is by Codex. The second one is by Opus. And this one is by Gemini 5.3 Pro. So I think this is quite interesting that we can see the way that the model actually respond back into this one and doing a visual understanding of the SVG. So this is kind of like the first testing of the Gemini 3.1 Pro, and I think this is something that we can use for quite comprehensive testing, and it can do some kinds of like complex reasoning, and also at least I think the ability to follow the prompt quite well. This is actually creating a quite visual, absolutely something interesting, because the way that it's following and exactly the prompt and SVG, this means this model having quite well visual understanding of what is a chameleon green look like comparing to other model, which is kind of like less understanding. You can see this here. The tail is like far away from this one, and even for GPT-4 Codex actually off the chart. Anyway, so that is the first thing that we would like to share, which is related to Gemini 3.1 Pro, and you can try it today. The next thing that I would like to share is we have the new ability. So we have an option that you can enable sub agent. So this is actually the request from a member in our Discord group, and we make it available. So you go into the agent editor for now, and you'll be able to create a sub agent. So let me show you how is it going to do. Okay, so it's going to be going here, and then you just clicking on, for example, this one is like, I already have one agent, but maybe I just remove this one, and I would do another, how do you say? Maybe I would just go here, and I'm going to create a new, just say designer agent, and I click create. And so this agent, I was planning that I suppose that this agent is my UI helpful designer agent. Your job is to design image. Only take one request at a time and return the image or without asking any question. Okay, so I give an instruction for this agent and I give it some tool. For example, like I put it is like image generation, this one, and save. And I'm going to choosing which model is driving. For example, like this one for Omni, save, generate, cat image. All right, while waiting for this one, I'm going to respond for some question. So the agent is actually going to be like the sub agent is meant for the kind of like a quick win to changing how you can call a sub agent inside an agent on this part. And how is it having is it was meant to be MAS holder, but in a short period of time we open it for everyone for doing some beta testing. And when we having the more mature of the multi-agent system and so on, we will have to relaunch this again. But for now, during the testing period, you can have to test this. Oh, I don't know why this having this one. Is it a problem? This generate image node? Maybe I need to test this as well. Let's create a workflow that's doing only image generation. This must be something have been broken during the refactoring. So these days, actually, we do a lot of like refactoring on the platform to change some of the work. So it must have some bug. But anyway, I just say, let me test this one more time. Cat pick. Okay, it has been success. So the image generation is okay, but the agent is having some problem that I don't know yet. There must be something wrong on this one. Is it because we are sticking with this model? Let's try Gemini Flash. Save and new chat. Let's do one more time, refresh. So this work already. So let me go back into the agent list. So for this one, I'm going to using another agent that using, for example, like just Gemini Flash and save. And then I'm going to add a sub agent, which is the designer in here. And I save. And I'm asking it like, hey, can you have to generate a cat image? Okay, so it will reject this one because it doesn't have any capability. But because we enable this designer agent already and say, but you have your designer agent, you can ask this to do. Okay, so actually it's going to using the other agent as a tool for the current agent. And actually it's going to asking some questions. So if you click on this one, you will see that there's some question that the other agent is asking back. And I say, let's do a orange cat at 1-1. Okay. So we have an orange cat here. So as you can see, this agent doesn't have the capability of like image generation and so on, but it has a sub agent that have the ability to do the image generation. So it means it can and able to create a team of agents that have a manager, which is this agent as a manager. So this is a manager agent, the manager agent, and you can actually adding the sub agent to this manager, and they can kind of like managing different. So what is the fundamental difference between this way and also the MAS? So MAS is kind of like a different level. So MAS is something that having a canvas. So if you go into MAS and you click on add node, and if you click on agent team like this one, then actually it is kind of like similar where you have the team node, but you can also using this one and you add a member, that these two into a member and into another member, for example, test office hour. So in this one, you can have the two agent, in this one, the agent team working here. And so the fundamental difference is that with this MAS, then you can dictate it. This agent is the first one to run, which is the video script generator. After it's finished, it will move to the agent team. And then in this agent team, it will kind of like rotating between these two members. And it can be member 1 and member 2. And depends on the nature of the task, it will routing between them. But we have no absolute way in order to guarantee that this agent will happen after the other. So MAS is giving you more control in kind of like canvas for you to control the entire flow. And also because of MAS, it actually having ability to managing the agent thread. So it can kind of like, it can use an existing thread, or it can use a new thread every time, or it can use the master thread. So it will be more carefully crafted for your context engineering. But for the other way is when we enable this one, the sub agent in here, actually it is just consider this sub agent as a tool for it. So it will rely on your left hand side, which is this system prompt, in order to decide whether it's going to using a plugin, it's using a MCP, a workflow, a skill, or a sub agent. So it's going to be equivalent, this capability together with everything else. And you have to control everything on the prompt on left hand side. And you know that AI will kind of like not really deterministic. So sometimes it works this way and sometimes it works the other way. So if you need some kind of like more deterministic and also control the context engineering correctly, you can use MAS. If you just would like to code the other agent by some condition in the prompt, then sub agent is for you. So you can click on this icon. It's going to lead you into the system prompt and also the docs that the team have been writing on this one. So I think you can have a look. It's going to tell you like where are sub agent, what is the architecture that you can have, and also what are the type of sub agent that you can do, and also you can try some this one as well. But this is still alpha, so please expect that this multi-agent system is an alpha version, still in testing, anticipate to have some bugs. So I hope that you can try and maybe you can give us some feedback as well. So let's move on to the next one. So I think we have some question in this one. So sub agent replacing MAS, as MAS still under development. I think that is two different things, like what I explained. So sub agent is a complementary that was requested for simple kinds of like delegation between the master and also the sub, but it will not replacing MAS because the sub agent is having problem, which is the context. So the context is actually like short-term memory of the agent, which is the master. And if the context is full, then the agent will start to forgetting things. And when we are doing the sub-agent in here, everything is going to write back into the manager context. So for example, like this one, whenever that I call this one, so the entire result, this one, is actually writing back into this agent context. So it will quickly filling up the master agent context, and when it fill up, then this master agent is going to be forgetting things, and it will not be recommendable if you're doing very complex way. So there is two things about it. One is about the context engineering of this sub agent is not good. Second one is it is not deterministic, so it is solely rely on the model, which is whatever the model that you choose to decide to invoke that agent or not. There's no way to deterministically handle that via graph-based UI. So MES is having its own use case. Alright, so next one, I have a question about Anton. Create an agent with MCP access and share it with other. When users start a chat with agent, users should log in over OAuth to give agent access to their account using MCP. This way, agent then directly work with the agent account inside the same chat without extra tech work. Simple example, agent work with Gmail through MCP. Users start using agent. The agent asks them to log in. We provide access via Gmail. Multi-tenant OAuth architecture achieve this goal composition. So replying to Anton, it is not doable with AgenticFlow at the moment. Because we are working in a way that the connection is unified managed. So this area is all of the connection that the agent have, and it including the MCP connection as well. And this UI is actually restricted to the builder, which is the one that are able to log in into the platform. For the end user, which is the one that actually using this chat on the left hand side, they are kind of like the consumer. So we restrict their operation actually in a good way, because we don't really want to have them to mess up the instruction or the capability of the agent. Rather, they just do what we allow them to do. For example, like chat or upload some of the photo or file, and that's it. Unfortunately, there is no like OAuth as a service on this part, even though that is something that could be useful, but the current architecture do not support that. Maybe there is some workaround, like if they doing that, then you can actually programmatically doing that. So if you are using the AgenticFlow SDK, so which is on npm.js, and you search for AgenticFlow CLI, and you click here, and then you click on the SDK, this one. So if you building a new front end of yourself with this SDK, then actually you can set the, so we allow you that you can kind of like create agent. So it means you can programmatically create agent. So it means you can create a new agent with the credential or MCP server or connection or whatever it takes that the user provides to you via a web app that you already capturing them. So the OAuth happen outside of the AgenticFlow, and AgenticFlow only creating an agent with that token that OAuth already connected and save that in the connection portal for you. And your agent can reusing that agent later. So that agent will belong into that customer only. But this is not something that in the platform can support. But we support it via SDK. So you can take our SDK and also kind of like developing a wrapper application. It can be kind of sound like an Anton agent platform or something. And then you can use this one to develop your own app. So this is going to be kind of like a very customized use case that the SDK is already support. So I strongly suggest that you can come and check a look. All right, our sub agent is sequential or parallel. So they are not sequential or not parallel. They are totally invoked by the will of the master agent. So if the agent believing that it should call the designer, it should call the designer. If the manager believe that it should call the office hour manager, then it going to call the designer. So there is no way that we can guarantee whether the designer work first or the office hour video processor work first. So that's why you need MAS, because MAS is going to be like deterministically control which agent come first. But with this one, there is no ability. So it's totally like based on the system prompt that you have in here and also the user request. So as you can see in here, I just asked it to like, please use the designer agent. So I explicitly asked it to do. And when it's processing this one, it will using this run agent designer agent. So it means it just consider designer agent as a tool, one of the capability for manager. So it's good in a way if you can craft the design, but it's also quite limited in use case because you cannot really control how they invoke this and whether they invoke it in a way that you want or not. It's totally based on the reasoning capability. But I think because right now we have a very good model that having this one already, so perhaps this is something that you can try. So you can have a very smart model. For example, like the new one that we have here, the Gemini 3.1 Pro, and then it say, hey, you have 2 employees. I think it will know. So I have designer agent office hour. Okay, like what a designer agent capability. So one of the interesting thing about this design pattern is that you can interacting with the master agent and then you let it decide for you. So it means whatever that the sub agent is actually asking back, the manager actually can respond that on your behalf without having you on this one. So it means you can just interacting with one agent only, and then this agent will managing the other agent. Okay, this is a cool picture. Nice. So if I would like to know what prompt that this manager is giving to the other agent, I can click here. I will see that, okay, here's a cool picture. Okay, it's a very cool picture of characteristic. Okay, so it come up with a prompt and also it will answer what the sub agent need. And because of this design pattern, and because we also having the ability that you can publishing to Telegram, so it means you can actually creating an agent that on Telegram that acting as your manager, and this manager is actually talking to your sub agent. And perhaps that one of the design pattern that I think that we really like is that we have the file system, so we can kind of like select the folder that the manager have access to. For example, we can have the manager folder, and also the sub agent we will have a designer folder. And for all these agent, actually when we are creating asset and everything, it's going to be storage in that folder only. So it means you can kind of like mimic your company folder, for example, like finance, marketing, and so on, and you can have different agents that working on different folder, and then you just interacting with the kind of like the manager that going to talk and also managing things. And when it hand over the task to different agent, and this sub agent is actually going to using file and everything else that you have control, so you can consider that your entire workspace that's going to be fully manageable by this capability. So I don't know what this capability will enable you. It's more for you to use. So that's why during alpha we will make it free and available to everyone, and we try to keep it as long as possible. And yeah, please let us know if you can try something like this. So next question from Little PC Man, PixelML AgenticFlow connector using AgenticFlow Codex. So any connector of PixelML is using PixelML credit. AgenticFlow is using AgenticFlow credit. So you can go into workflow. So for example, like this one, and you can actually clicking on this area. So built-in is with the logo of AgenticFlow. It will use AgenticFlow credit. If you're using PixelML with this logo, it's using AgenticFlow, PixelML, and OpenAI, Claude, Font, and so on. So this are considered as an external provider that you can need to bring your own key in order to use that. Yeah. How do you upgrade to a stable release? So at the moment, we launch that for now to everyone. So you can just go into the editor and also just try it. When I say beta, this is because like the feature is not ready yet. We just have enabled and not really like testing full. So it will be expecting some bug. So from now until the end of the month, we still having worked closely with the team to improve the UX and also fixing some issue and bug as well. So as you notice in the beginning of the office hour, there's some problem with the bug. So I think that is something that we will the trouble sorting as well, because when we are trying to fix thing, it's going to broken something else. And also that is the reason why we are developing the AgenticFlow CLI. So I think this is one I would like to share as well. So during the week, we also having the version. So we are upgrading to version 1.0.7. So I think this one is something. So I think the second one I serviced was sub-agent. The third one is the AgenticFlow CLI, upgrade to 0.1.7. So this is a new version. So right now it's just super powerful already. So we are extending new capability to this CLI. So it will having some kinds of like playbooks. So it means when you drop this CLI into any of the coding agent, it will explore and it will understanding what to do. It can containing some template. So it means it's going to fetch from this marketplace template or this one in order to do some kinds of like learning mechanism and so on. And after this one, it's going to doing some of the, it can do agent workflow. I think this is normal. Connection is normal. Node upload. Okay, this one is interesting. So right now, you can have this agent to upload file from your computer to AI drive directly. So I did. So you should see the other account, and in here in the AI drive, and you can go into the input. You can see that this is the agent workflow. So we make some change on this one. So we organizing the agent and workflow user input into a folder. So I think this is a request from someone in our Discord that you would like to concentrate everything into a folder. So if you would like to delete, to save some space, you can delete that entire. So for example, this agent is actually my agent, and it does that. It taking the office hour, which is the one that we are doing today, into split into different clip, and it creating the entire stack for me, and it even like upload to my YouTube channel. So for example, like this is one of the clip that it creates. So maybe let me just click on this one. I have to play it. Oh no, this is a previous version. It's having black screen. Now this one is also black. What is a good one? This one is a good one. No, I should remember there's, okay, it's a lot. Truly. Okay, so this one is working. So this one is actually from the long video, which is the office hour 40 that we have from last week. And then I'm running into my agent with my AgenticFlow CLI, and it's going to split into 6 different clips. And you can see in here, right? It was normal. I was telling something about Telegram and so on this one. And with this one, actually it's going to split this clip into 6 clips. And it even like doing some like YouTube metadata tagging, so that for like title, description, and including short clips, like 6 clips from 6 to so on. And finally, it's going to using a workflow that I have in here. Okay, it's creating a lot of workflow. Okay, it's doing some like YouTube upload, and I go into history and let's see. Okay, so it's 3 days ago. It has been triggering this YouTube upload workflow for me, and is it upload? Okay, the AgenticFlow Telegram integration have been successfully uploaded to private video. This is the ID for this one. So let me play that video as well. View your channel video. Okay, I would just make it public. I just make it public now. Open. Yeah, 8 seconds ago. So it means the agent that we have is to analyzing my office hour and then split into 6 different clips, prepare metadata, upload to the clip to my AI drive and then trigger the YouTube upload. So this YouTube upload is very simple. It's basically a YouTube connection. So we are using a MCP server that connect to my YouTube, and it's actually taking the action with the instruction like upload video file, and it's using the connection we have in the MCP connection. It should be something in here. So this one, YouTube data MCP, and it had a connection to my account. And because of that, I have able to upload it on my behalf. Maybe the connection have been expired. But anyway, so this is the flow that I was using in order to have my agent, which is sitting on my local, to split my clip, to do some normalization and do some metadata tagging. And it can even doing some kinds of de-silent. So for example, like during a talking, I'm doing kinds of like silencing, not talking, or maybe doing some filter word. Actually, is it doing that pre-processing for me, and then it's going to kind of like just removing the time that I need in order to remove that filter word, and it just uploaded here. So I believe that this is something that pretty useful, at least for me, because I don't need to spend some time to cut the clip, remove silent, and so on. And the agent is actually just doing it for me, and it is was built because of this one, npm.js. Okay. Let's search for this again. So it is make it available because of this capability. So when you install this CLI, and then you can ask your kinds of like desktop agent, it could be Ishi, it could be Cloud Code, it could be Codex, it could be Open Code, whatever that you use. Just ask it to using this AgenticFlow CLI, and then ask it to do the upload and managing everything, and it will figure it out. So believe me, and you definitely need to push the boundary of this one. So the question from Anton is that using AgenticFlow SDK, can I create another UI for chat and integrate AgenticFlow and use over API only? Yes, that's possible. That's the whole point of having an SDK, right? So in the SDK, if you're interested, then it's available for your owner operation, including your list of agents, create, get, update, delete, even like streaming. Streaming is like when you are typing something and the agent is streaming word by word back to you. So whatever that you are doing today in the chat box, in this one, it is actually the similar. Just say hi. When you are typing this one, and the agent will typing some word on this part, and so it's streaming to the client, which is the current my machine. But if you are building a new client, then you're just using our SDK in order to input the agent ID that you create from the first step, and then you just send a message at the role of user, and then just adding the listener. So we also give you some sample code. It's like option 1, option 2, or option 3. So you can either like just waiting for word by word and also display on your UI is it correctly, or you can collect full text. So it means you are waiting until the server is finished rendering text, and then it can do, or even like you can do some async iteration. So the agent can even like doing file upload as well. So whatever that you are having in here on this upload file and so on, you can do it in over the SDK. So it will really help you if you would like to build your own platform that wrapper on top of AgenticFlow. Okay, node type, upload, and so on. So there's some low level access and so on. So this SDK is fully available to you. And we're building AgenticFlow CLI as a kind of like example so that you can use this one. And the AgenticFlow CLI is also fully open source as well. You can go into AgenticFlow, let's go in GitHub. It's also fully open source. It will give you some example like how you use the SDK on this one. So I would strongly suggest that you can have a look. If you're doing some coding agent like Cloud Code and something, you can give it both, and it should able to figure it out how to interacting with the SDK and the platform. So I think the major change in the new year is that we are making the platform is more available, so that you can build on top of like AgenticFlow, and why we are like focusing on stability and so on. So that's why you can see that we are poking here and there in order to fixing bug. And the reason that CLI exists is that we're using it a lot in order to test different operation of the core engine, and also trying to fix some bug as well. All right, what else that we have today? Let's go straight back to Changelog again. Okay, we talk about Gemini 3.1 Pro. We talk about sub-agent. Okay, this is small, so you can kind of like use agent icon at widget bubble So this is something new. So before that, a small box is not able to change. And I noticed that some of the customer need to do some work on CSS for that. So right now we have the agent icon with on the left hand side going to be show up on your widget. So if you would like to make some change on that, so you please upload the agent icon. It will display on the widget box. All right. So I think that also brings me to the end of today office hour. Hopefully that this is something that you can share. And perhaps that in the next office hour, I will go more details on my workflow on the video editing. I'm still polishing that, but today I already show you the result of what I have been done already. Okay. Am I too late for Ishi? I'm tier 2. Actually, Ishi is still available. So if you are having now, I think you can go into the Launchpad and you should be able to, this account is free plan, but if you go into Launchpad, I think you can still generate that until the end of April. Yeah. So you just go in here and then click on that, generating the code, and you should be able to get the easy license. Okay. Yeah, this account is kind of like free account. But if you have the account in here, you just log in and click generate license and just go follow the instruction to redeeming the proof. So you can go into ishi.so to download the latest version. Or if you would like to test some of the beta feature, you can go into our GitHub and also go into this release. And you can search for some of the latest release, which is beta 10. So this one is releasing last week. So this is the latest version. This is in beta. So if you would like to test, you can click on this one. It have a lot of like feature that we built on this one, but it's not stable yet. So that's why we're not making it as a official version. But this version should be more than enough for you to work. And whatever that I show you with the CLI and so on, Ishi should be able to also operate on that very easily. Or maybe you can use it with Cloud Code or any agent. That's nothing. All right, so I think that's it for today. If you have any question, please let me know. Otherwise, just drop a message into our support group email, and we'll talk to you next week. Okay. All right, good. So thanks, Mr. Pisiman. Thanks, Vincent. Thanks, Kovier. Thanks, Maxwell. And thanks, Matthias and Anton for joining us. And we'll see you next week.